So me and my girl were watching this show last night about Cat House, right? And yeah, you see, hey, you want to see the extent of what happens when you get abused? These will never go away, right here. You see those dark circles under my eyes? They ain't never going away. So we're watching this Cat House thing, man, and you know, I used to, I barely frequented strip clubs, man. I kind of, when I was selling dope and shit like that, like it wasn't my industry, man. It's not the shit that I was into, man. You know, I prided myself on selling weed, so it was a quote unquote victimless crime. Whereas watching this show, it shows the victims of this prostitution ring and shit like that. The tactics they used real estate tactics to own people, basically, which is, you know, a direct violation of the 13th Amendment. Stuff that people are trying to do now, you know. Anyways, you know, I'm watching this stuff and I had nothing but empathy for the women, you know. My girl was talking about, well, they waited until this guy died until they started speaking out. And, you know, I wonder why. The guy had money. The guy had power. He had a lock on the politicians. He had a lock on the local police departments. So I wonder why that they had to wait till that to go make this special on Netflix, right? The thing about it is they were talking about, see, I'm very much about media and the influx and like how, you know, technology and stuff basically brainwashes us, man. 30-second clips, that type of shit. Very proficient in that area. And they were telling me how, you know, the subjectiveness of the females that were watching the show at like age 12, 11, 13, and how it was promoting for them to go out to this bunny ranch, right? And the one question I asked my girlfriend, I said, well, what about the men that watched the show? They didn't even touch on the subject. How many of these dudes watched this show and was like, I'm going to set up something just like that? That is fucked up. Yeah, I'm not for that industry at all, by any means. Even though it's the oldest industry in the world. I'm not into it. I don't think it's a good thing for anybody. I've dated strippers. And the reason I dated strippers is I was a drug dealer. It kind of goes hand in hand. My best friend used to date strippers all the fucking time. Because they want what we have. You know, it's like a symbiotic relationship, back and forth. So, point of the matter is, man, the one lady in there, I feel like she's a crusader. I can't remember her name, man. I might have to go back and watch the episode again. But I feel like she's a crusader, man. She got a pardon from Trump and then used it to kind of out the whole, you know, sex trafficking organizations and shit like that. And that is kind of beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She actually got pardoned and did something good. You know, versus, you know, most people get pardoned on that situation, and you're seeing an influx of the people that got pardoned that are already back in jail. You know, the thing I learned about it is it's a revolving door, man. Unless you make certain changes in your life, you're gonna continue to go into that pattern. I've made all the necessary changes in my life to be like, if I'm getting arrested for something, obviously something's up, because I don't leave the house. You know what I'm saying? At nighttime, like, I don't, why? Why would I? Dude, I'm fucking, in my older, you know, spectrum of life, dude. Like, y'all young kids don't understand. Y'all younger motherfuckers don't understand that when you get older, man, you do start to slow down, man. Life ain't like it was in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever think I'm, like, a bitch or anything, because that's definitely not the case. It's just I'm not going to be out and about I'm not gonna be in the streets. I'm not, dude. I come home. I got a home. I got places to fucking go chill. You know what I'm saying? And wasn't that the hardest thing we used to back in the day? Have to find someone with a place to fucking kick back and chill, right? So, point of the matter is, man, grasp your happiness. That's a good part of it. Grasp your happiness and enjoy what you have. And when it comes down to these people, like I've been through levels of abuse that y'all will never understand. I posted it on my posts, and I've been to Central State. I've seen the abuse there. Been through the abuse there. I've been strapped into a naked chair at the fucking jail in Loudoun County for like 6 hours before they moved me to the mental facility for my own safety, right? As in the pod in front of the whole fucking intake, you know, displayed like this is what happens when you don't do the right shit. The only person that saw me there that I knew personally was Justin Frost. He was delivering trays. I have a pretty good memory despite all the blows to the head. Yeah, so, and then they took me there, and then I saw even more hordes at Central State, and that can be backed up by other people that went to Central State afterwards. Actually, there was a man who died, and they had a room, like I said, they had a room where they would take us in there if we were too unruly. It was before the booty juice. They would just beat the fucking shit out of us, man, and then gaslight us into why we were crazy. I mean, if it doesn't sound like torture to me, I don't know what the fuck it sound like, you know? But at that point, right, we're state property. They can do with us as we want, right? If y'all don't see the trend of what's happening here in America, then, you know, I hope you heed my warning. Because you could be just like me any day of the week. So, with that being said, man, just keep vigilant, keep happy. Try to do what you want to do, and, you know, fuck all the bullshit. Fuck all that extra shit, man. Yeah, I'm out here basically telling my story of the shit I've been through. And it's my story, dude. Y'all can't come in there and be like, hey, no, it's my story, dude. You can't edit my lines in my story, dude. Understand that. And guess what? A lot of this shit you can't go and look up and digitally pull up, dude. Unless you can break into certain fucking agencies and shit like that. You just can't. You can't look it up. You're not going to be able to look it up. But yeah, I don't like no bullies, man. And like I said, I had to have a prolific thing when I looked back and looked at that video at the joint. I felt like Blasian was at one point. You know what I'm saying? But I was laughing in the background, laughing my ass off because I was part of the group, right? That's how it works. You know, you're part of it until you're singled out. Remember that. So y'all have a blessed day, man. I got shit to do today, man. It's just the beginning of my morning. So y'all have a good one.